Wonderful. As I said, welcome everyone to our 2025 Student Chapter Idea Swap webinar. I'm super excited to welcome members of our student chapters as well as our student and postdoc members on the webinar call today. This is a great opportunity for our early career scientists to get more involved with ASM through our student chapter program. If you're currently a member of a student chapter, that's wonderful. If not, we're always accepting applications for new student chapters on a rolling basis. So hopefully, hearing from our different student chapters today really inspires you to maybe get started at your own university if we don't have a student chapter. Excited. My name is Kirsten Bartlett. I'm the manager of this program, and I'm going to be joined by 5 different student chapters on the call today. And again, just use the chat bot. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, we'll do our best to answer them. And I can be reached at any time at studentchapters@asmusa.org, and I'll put that information in the chat as well. So without further ado, I want to keep the time focused on members of our student chapters. So first, I'm going to get started with Anna from the University of Dallas Student Chapter. Feel free to pull up your slides, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, 1 second, just getting my PowerPoint set up. Okay. Kristen, are you able to see it?
Perfect. Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. Guys, my name is Anna Karki. I'm the president of the University of Dallas chapter for ASM. And I'm just going to be talking about our recent events, activities that we've done in the past, and just like some experiences, what I've learned, and some tips that I can give you guys based on these events. Okay. Well, first, I would like to introduce you our chapter's mission. Just a brief summary. We were really dedicated to advancing the microbial sciences by providing students with opportunities for academic growth, professional development, and community engagement. We're also really focused we aim to inspire curiosity, foster relationship, and create a bigger impact, whether that's in like a lab setting or classroom or in the community. And as I talk through about our recent activities, you will see that our mission and ASM's mission is reflected on them. So our first recent event. So this was one of my personal favorite event that we did this year. It's the Ronald McDonald House outreach event. If you're not familiar with Ronald McDonald House, basically it's a house where families of 6 children come from all the way across the countries and even outside to stay while their children are getting treatment in nearby facilities or hospital. And it can be it's a place of hope, but it can be a stressful environment for children because they're staying here and they're going through treatment like every day. So our goal was very simple. We just wanted to take some of our time, our resources, and our knowledge to create even like a 5 minute of joy or distraction for them. And we did that through like fun activities. One of the big ones we did was like DNA extraction with strawberries. We also had like this little invisible ink, like hidden message thing, which is essentially an acid-based reaction. And we also had like bacteria coloring activity for those like really young children. We also had like lab coats, like we had spare lab coats, which we autoclaved, by the way, the day before, and like gloves to get them into this little setting, like little environment, and make them feel like they're like little scientists doing things. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. And then the children were really engaged with this thing, very enthusiastic about the activity. Some challenges we did face in general when we have activities that includes children, it can be a little complex because children are a little bit unpredictable. And moreover, the Ronald McDonald House, they were not able to give us like an exact age group that were going to be there because we don't know which families are coming in the day of the event, how many are going. So all they told us was they could be from 2 years to 21 years, and that is a big age range. So like planning an activity that is appropriate for all of them is kind of complex. Especially when they have like varied science backgrounds. So like planning ahead and having backing plans really helped us. So we had alternative activities such that on the day of the event that we entered and we saw that the age group was not what we expected, we still have activities like on hand, ready to go, just in case it was something we did not expect. And we also had like those coloring sheets just in case if the children are really young and like activities such as DNA extraction was not enough to hold their attention span. But surprisingly, we did not need that because once they saw like the older kids like get into the lab coats and this little gloves, they were like really excited. It's always the little things with the little kids. It's just little things that gets them like really interested, right? And so they saw this lab coats and stuff. They're like, I want to do this. I want to be a scientist too. So it's like it's a really cool thing. So Jay joined in, and we were able to like talk a little bit about like DNA, what DNA is, and like what is the process they were doing, just sparking a little curiosity about the world of microbiology early on. Um, Another event we did was the water testing event, and this was a surprising success because it was open, inclusive, very inclusive event. We wanted to have students from all backgrounds, and you would think that only maybe microbiology students would really care what type of microbes are in your food and your drinks. But once people start seeing like the results, they start getting curious because they were like, we were not, if you're studying microbiology, you would think about microbes every day. But if you're not, you kind of forget about these things that you come in contact on a daily basis, which you cannot see with your naked eye. So once they started seeing this thing, they were like kind of curious. Like, oh, what is in here? Like, I need to see what's going on in my home, maybe in my campus, like in the dorms. Is a water fountain? So we were able to kind of grasp this interest and use this as an opportunity to spread awareness about common microbes in foods and drinks, like food-borne illnesses, like waterborne illnesses, and also talk about some common sterilization techniques or sanitation techniques that we can employ. So yeah, it was a great event, especially for socializing with microbiology and non-microbiology students, as well as like having like kind of sparking interest and curiosity. So this picture is a snippet from our university newspaper. So it was, again, it was such a success that we actually ended up doing a second round of the event because we were receiving a lot of requests from students. And this picture is like a snippet from the newspaper because we were also called for an interview and we were able to like get an article out. So it was a really interesting event. So other successful initiatives that we did, we had like a lot of grad programs and lab tours, like UT Southwestern, UNT. One of the unique ones I would say was the Elm Fork Water Plant Tour, and this was in collaboration with one of our chemistry department clubs. So I would always encourage collaborations, especially in places where you may not even expect. For example, with this chemistry department. And with collaboration, it's not just like you tagging along. It's you take the event and then you expand it by adding your own, like adding the microbiological perspective onto it. So we were also able to organize a little bit of a presentation after the end of the tour. So Vera Aquavera Vita gave us a little short presentation on how they were like on their sanitization process, how they eliminate like these harmful microbes, and able to provide clean drinking water to everybody. We also have like really relaxing social events like ramen movie night, trivia night. I would also highly recommend reaching out to like state branch conference of ASM because usually they are in need of some activities or just some entertainment after, because it's a 3-day conference and they require some event or socialization events in between each of these conference. So we actually reached out to ASM like Texas branch, and they were more than happy to have us. So we did this little trivia night with other chapter students during the conference. We also have like March networking event, which we coordinate with our faculty, ASM faculty member. So we have like workshops. We also have like a panel with previous UD alumni who are working in microbiology, fields of microbiology, and other opportunities that may arise. So future events, we were thinking about like Agar art, which is always a popular one, or making kombucha or beer in our microbiology lab. Providing potluck, I'm really looking forward to this because I think it'll be a good party to have to fuel for the final exam week. So I think the students would really appreciate that. Here's some general tips. Ooh, so when I became president of my chapter, we actually started with just $50 on our budget. So sometimes there's a budgeting. You may be like really restricted with budgeting, and without campus programs like out campus like activities, transportation is a big thing. So I have a tip is when you have like a when you send out like links for RSVP and stuff, you can have like this additional questionnaire where people who have transportation, if they are willing to, if they're okay with like just carpooling or having other people ride with them, since they're going to the same location and coming back and whatnot. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people are just okay with it. So there's kind of like organized in this way. So once I see the responses, I can kind of group them together. So these colors are just person who's driving, and then the other people that I can group them with. So I can kind of plan ahead in that way. Moreover, you can also, obviously, we have officers who are willing to carpool. So you can also group them in that way. So that's a good way of taking care of the transportation problem when you're on tight budget. Like I said, always plan ahead, especially if it's activities that are outside campus. You don't know what's going to happen. So you always have like backup activities on hand just in case things don't go as planned. Friendly competitions are always great tool for engagement. You have a little competition for your thing. You just have like a little prize. It already boosts engagement, and a lot of people are going to participate and enjoy. Collaborations, again, I think it's important to be always open to everything because you don't know what you may find. And always being inclusive is also good. Active social media and posters. Yeah, so we are also really we tried to have a social media presence because people were not checking their emails all the time. They might be looking at our social stories, and for example, the water testing event, they might be looking at this, look at, ooh, what's going on. So that kind of really brings our activity more participation and engagement. And that is it. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm going to still be, even after my presentation is done, you can still put it on the chat and I can respond to it when I can.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And I think what really stood out for me, one, very much in line, I think, with the mission of the student chapter program and what you guys are doing. You're having fun around this shared interest, but I think the collaboration aspect and what you've been able to do, I think promoting it in the school paper, the collaboration with the chemistry department, and the interest across campus for that water testing event, I think really stood out to me as sometimes we get a little bit pigeonholed thinking like, oh, this is our microbiology club, but think about sort of the broader interest in this field right now and how it's just diverse and, cross specialties and things like that. So those are really great examples. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone feel free to continue those questions in the chat. There's just positive comments rolling in right now. So if there's any questions, feel free to add those in the chat. Next, I'd like to welcome Sophia from Ohio State University to share your screen, and we look forward to hearing from our next chapter.
Can everyone see that?
You're good to go.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. My name's Sophia. I'm with the Ohio State University ASM Student Chapter, along with the rest of my officers, Maddie, Napika, Mitchell, Lily, and Rosemary. So this year, we've really been focusing on building interest in microbiology and building relationships and cooperation among microbiology students. So I'll just go over some of the things we did this year and what went well and my thoughts on them. So one of the things we really like to make sure we get done every year is having tours of local businesses or labs. So this year we had a tour of Land Grant Brewery, which is a local brewery in Columbus. And this tour was really fun. It was super popular with our members. We got to walk through their brewing process, their labs, talk to their brewers, and then we even got to do a beer tasting afterwards. So that was a really fun event that was both educational to see the connections of between microbiology and the industry, and then also really fun just to hang out with your friends in the club. And then this semester, we also had a tour with COSI. So, COSI is a science museum in our city. So, we got to have a private tour with their scientists, which was a great opportunity to talk to them and learn about careers that are more unconventional in microbiology or any science because, they're not working in a lab. It's more, you don't really hear about science museum jobs that much. So, it was great getting to talk to them and kind of look at other options that we can use our degree for. Then we also make sure to have some sort of service and community involvement every year. So one thing we've started doing in the summers is having a booth at the COSI Science Festival. So this is again at COSI, the science museum in our town. They have a science festival every summer, and we had a booth there called Microbes Seeing the Light, which where at this booth we taught kids about Winograd columns and actually helped them build their own Winograd columns. So this was really a great way to get little kids involved in science. We had really young kids coming up to our booth, and even though they didn't really understand what was going on, we were able to teach them about what microbes are, why they produce different colors, and they're all super engaged and excited to get to build their own columns. So that's one of my favorite events for the semester. Definitely, if you can get involved any way to like teach little kids about science, that is honestly like a really important goal for our group. And I think it's a great way to help your community. And then also with our service involvement, we worked with Gift of Life Bone Marrow Registry. And we had a bone marrow registry drive, which basically we provided information to our members about like what the bone marrow registry is, and then actually gave them the option to join the bone marrow registry with the cheek swab. So that was a really cool service event and definitely is something that's super easy to do, but also like super helpful because this is like a program that is actually built to save lives. So if anyone wants to get involved in Gift of Life, I think they're across the whole country. So just let me know and I can send you that information. And then another really important thing to provide for our members are more educational based meetings. So it's great to have fun meetings, but a lot of our members also want to learn stuff. So this semester, we provided a graduate student panel to our members, which was super popular. It gave our members an opportunity to ask grad students in the microbiology department about what their experience was, what doing research is like. And I think it was very beneficial for our students who are thinking about going to grad school. And then we also provided a career success workshop to our members about jobs and internships. So we have a career success department at our college, and we had one of their career coaches come to one of our meetings and kind of present to us and give us advice. So that was also super helpful and beneficial, especially as it was around the time that everyone was kind of looking for internships for the summer or jobs when they're starting to graduate. And then lastly, we also had um, a pharmaceutical industry speaker come in, and he kind of provided his experience in the industry, which was great for our students to learn also about what it's like to work more in the industry field of microbiology. And then, of course, it's also really important to have fun activities for your club members. So, one of the things we did was a Winograd column making, which you can see in this picture. We did it outside in September, so it was super fun. Had great involvement just making Winograd columns, which, if you don't know what a Winograd column is, it's like a mini like dirt ecosystem, and then the microbes grow and produce all kinds of different colors. So that was really cool. We also did DNA keychain making. We also did that outside, which was nice. Agar art, strawberry DNA extraction, and then this week we're doing pickle making. So this is to highlight some of our art from our agar art event. This is kind of a big tradition for our club. We make sure to do it every year, and it's always really popular. So we work with our teaching labs in the microbiology department. They provide us these materials, all kinds of different bacteria, that grow and produce different pigments. And we go in and make a lot of beautiful art like this. Some of them don't turn out great, but these are some of our highlights that looked really pretty. So yeah, definitely Egger art is a super fun event. I would highly encourage anyone to try to do this one. And then, of course, aside from just our normal meetings, it's also really important to, of course, work on recruiting and fundraising. So this year we made sure to really go hard at the beginning of the year for the involvement fair. We printed out a bunch of flyers, made sure our setup was good. At the involvement fair, it's good to have like ways to engage people. I'm guessing most schools have an involvement fair. Not really sure. I think every school has that, but we made sure our poster was good. We had a trivia wheel with candy prizes to get students more engaged in our setup. And then also we had a bunch of Winograd columns and stuff on display. So it's really important to make sure you're like capturing people's attention, actually making sure they're aware that your group is a thing so that they can have the opportunity to join. And then fundraising is also really important. I know funding is always difficult. So some of the things we did, we partnered with kind of this local rewards app in our town called Claim, where our members got free Raising Cane's chicken if they used our club, and then we got like half the profits from that. Then we also did a Chipotle fundraiser, which is a similar concept as that. And then at the end of the semester, we're gonna sell all the DNA keychains that we made. So we have 30 DNA keychains that we made that you can see in this picture, and we're gonna sell those to raise some extra money. So, and then so for future plans, we're planning a microbiology banquet. So at the end of the semester, we're going to have this conference slash dinner called From Pipettes to Progress, where we're going to welcome both undergrad students, graduate students, and faculty to celebrate their scientific achievements with their family members and friends. And it's kind of like a more relaxed poster session slash dinner slash short presentations. So we're really excited to host this event for our school at the end of the semester just to celebrate graduation and celebrate science and all of our research. And that's all I have. So try to answer some questions.
Thank you so much, Sophia. That was so interesting. Anyone, please feel free to add those questions to our chat. I love the idea. I love that you mentioned the science festivals because I'd be interested to hear from our attendees if anyone else has participated in those because they're in different cities across the US and around the world. So I think it's really a great way to get involved and a great activity for our student chapter to do. And we look forward to hearing how that banquet goes at the end of the year.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Next, if I could welcome Andrea from Washington State University. Feel free to share your slides. And again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to add them to the chat.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, you are good to go.
Okay, perfect. So hi everyone. Like Kristen said, I'm Andrea and I'm from Washington State. So we're a really new chapter we started last summer. So I'm just gonna share with you some of the things we put together for this first year. So I'm gonna show you how we decided to make our board members or like all the positions for that. And then how we're doing our recruitment, engagement, and some of the events we've been hosting or the ones that we're planning for this year. So like I said, we have president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and then we have 3 public relations positions, 2 for students and 1 for postdocs. And then we have our advisor that it's also helping us through the chapter. So for member recruitment and engagement, we've noticed that this is one of the hardest parts to do. So the first thing we did is doing some departmental outreach. So we focused on recruiting within our department, making sure that we sent an email for everyone, letting them know that we were starting a new chapter, We had a link for them to join or say if they were interested in joining, just to get the chapter started. And then we also participated in the orientation week. There's one specific activity for orientation where they allow different chapters or clubs to just share about what they're doing. So we did that as well to recruit new members. Um, and then we decided that one of the best or most efficient ways to get people interested in the chapter is through events. So what we did was design this event through the board members in the beginning, and some of the people that had shown interest in our chapter. So we put together an event and used that to recruit more people. So the event we did for that, we did a Q&A panel with our postdocs. We decided that we wanted to close the gap between grad students and postdocs. So we hosted this Curious About a Postdoc event where we had 4 different postdocs just talking to us. We had planned some questions from the board members, and then we had also people from the crowd asking questions for them. And we provided dinner as well as an incentive to get more people to show up for this event. And at this event, we had an attendance sheet where we were asking also if they were interested in joining the chapter. And if they were, then we started more communication with them to keep recruiting more members. And then around Thanksgiving, we decided to host like a Thanksgiving dinner for the members. So it was like an all members Thanksgiving dinner where we wanted to one, network and get to know each other for the people that had show interest in joining the chapter. And then one of the fun activities we decided to do was a trivia. So we were using Kahoot for dinner, and then everyone was joining, and we had questions for both microbiology, we had questions for WSUs, for the chapter, about ASM in general, just to make sure that everyone was interested in it. And one of the prizes we gave for this particular event was that we wanted to support someone's membership for the ASM. So to keep getting people as part of members for ASM as well. Then as for the future events we're planning, again, we were sort of new, so we were trying to get things started. So we decided that from now on, we want to have an annual symposium. So right now we're in the works of putting together the first one. We have already contacted some speakers from our department that are working in microbiology, and we decided to call our symposium this year the Diverse Minds, Diverse Microbes, to show both the diversity in scientists and their backgrounds, as well as the microbiology field they're working and the research interest that they have right now. And then we also have an open abstract submission right now, where grad students can also submit their abstracts, and then we're gonna have about 4 student talks. So we want to show also the research that our students are doing. And another one that we have, we designed this first logo, but I think it's something fun to mix microbiology with also creative minds. So we have this logo design contest where people can submit their designs, and then we're gonna select like 3 finalists, and during our symposiums, we're gonna host a voting live event where we're gonna select the logo that is gonna become the logo for our chapter. And whoever wins that contest also is going to get a prize. We also want to start a professional development with industry. So we want to do a webinar series where we can get microbiologists in different industries, and we want to have some conversations with them about how they got to where they are right now and how they focus their microbiology career in industry. And the other thing we really want to work with is we want to bolster WSU graduate students' involvement in the ASM Pacific Northwest Conference for the fall. So we want to facilitate either transportation or inscriptions for the conference as well to just try and get more students involved with our regional chapter, not only with our campus chapter as well. And we've been working in hand with our ambassador for the state to also try and get some of these activities ongoing. So that's been really helpful as well. And yeah, we're trying to reach out to as many people as we can, keep recruiting new members. Um, so yeah, it's been a fun first year for us in our chapter. So just some tips and advices for new chapters or people that are like recently starting. Start small. When you're starting, even the smallest victories are victories. All the events we've been hosting right now are local in our campus because that's what we can work in the beginning. And the more people we get as members and the more we get settled into our chapter, we're gonna start growing the type of activities we do. Connect with friends. Half of the members we got in the beginning were people's or friends that I have made through grad school that showed interest in us putting together this new chapter. Then share and delegate. There is always going to be someone that is willing to help in your chapter. So that's really going to make it easier for you as a leader of the chapter to just get people interested in not only joining, but also feeling part of the chapter. And just like a final message, a community cannot be built in a day, but you do need to work daily on it to get it started. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to make a community for the microbiology interest here at WSU. So thank you for your time.
No, thank you so much, Andrea. Your last slide actually touched on a question that just popped up about, advice for starting a new chapter. And as one of our newer chapters, I think the advice that you shared is really beneficial since there might be people on this call that are interested in starting a chapter where we don't already have one. So I think that was really helpful advice. And I do encourage you, I'm the first step to anyone on this call today interested in starting a chapter is joining our webinar, hearing from our speakers, and then obviously connecting with ASM. And I'm happy to do that on the staff side as well. So thank you guys so much. We have a couple more questions coming in, and just for the interest of time, I think I'm going to save them to the end. But if any of our speakers want to jump in the chat and add your advice, while the next speaker is presenting, that's a great idea too. So I'm going to welcome Stanley from University of Calabar, Nigeria as our next speaker, if you want to share your slides.
Okay, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so so good everyone. I'm so glad to be on this webinar today. Thank you, Kirsten. So my name is Stanley Akobundu. I'm the president for American Society for Microbiology, University of Calabar chapter. And I'm so glad to Andrea, you've done well. Sophia, you've done well. Such a wonderful presentation. So I hope you can see my slide.
Yes, you're good. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I'll go ahead with the mission statement of my chapter. So our chapter aims to promote microbiological knowledge, global collaborations, and leadership among students at University of Calabar, fostering curiosity, innovation, and diversity in the field of microbiology. So I'm going to go over to the outline. We have a chapter overview, activities, membership, meetings, engagements, succession plan, keynotes, advices, questions, and answer. So right here on my slide is Professor Ernest Asikong, the faculty advisor, Mr. Andrew Kay, the co-founder and also the faculty advisor too, and I over there, the president. So we all make up the chapter board. Then I have the extended board, which is Linus Roots, presently on the call, she's the vice president. We have Lillian Bain, the financial secretary. We have Aja, the welfare coordinator director. We have Esther Inang, which is the media director. Yeah, those are one wonderful team. So for the year, how we start with an executive board meeting, which involves our student chapter, faculty advisor, and the board, the extended board. Yeah, we do that twice monthly. We also meet with the faculty advisor frequently. So so there's no stipulated time there. That's because most often we go to him and we have meetings upon meetings. So there's no time there. Then for our volunteers, which are participants or members of our student chapter, we are to choose Wednesday every week, 7 to 9 p.m. Just for 2 hours every week we meet to we have a program plan for the year. So in a program plan, we have every agenda for each Wednesday. So we just get to fix up activities which aims to build up their career, their focus, and every other thing. So for the year, we start off with a recruitment pattern. Yeah, so we do a call for volunteers. So we create a form. We have a program team. We create a form, a Google form, yeah, which we share within the university. So we have the every department and faculty, colleges, presidents, we get to them, we get notice boards also when we do it physically, but online we majorly do that. So we meet with chapter departmental presidents where we share the form. We have a date whereby we close the form. So after which we go for a volunteer form review, we get to look through the applicants. We have after looking through that, we have an onboarding section where we get to meet with our volunteers or members, or chapter members physically and share our chapter mission with ASM mission also. After which we go on to a sub-team formation. Right now in our chapter, we do no longer just microbiology. We cut across science and development. So we create a sub-team for media programs, research, and after which we do designation of roles. So designation of roles, after a working week, probably 2 months from resumption, we get to choose a sub-team lead who is passionate about media program, probably graphic design, and so on, or content creation. So that's going to head the media team. Programs going to develop structures for the year. We give an assignment, and we have individuals who spearhead it, research, and the rest of them. So we do that first, then chapter. And I'm going to go ahead to the activities of the year. So our activities span across career development, academics, social engagement, and so on. So for our year, we started with a visit to the power plant. Yeah, that's the university power plant, which sometimes was which they had oil spill. So we went there as a tour, we studied power plants. We got some soil sample which we worked on microremediation. So the publication is still in progress. You can see that in the slide. You can see the agar sample. Yeah, that's the petri dish. Yeah, that's a culture from um, our cultivation. Um, after which we have had a lot of collaborations, partnerships, being featured in events this time around. So it's a beautiful one. Down there, it's we working in the lab. So we've had community engagement, a lot of that. So you see that in the slide. So we sometimes had the Environmental Society of Nigeria hosting a conference right in our town in Cross River State, Calabar, Nigeria. So we had advised our chapter members to attend the conference. So we incurred every cost that would be needed to attend the conference. So I represented also there, and we actually talked on microbiology in the conference, and it was a beautiful one. We've had partnership with ASM Bangladesh, that Raja University, yeah, with the previous set, which is Zaid, the president, and the current set, which is Jaid, the president. So we had collaboration, antimicrobial resistance, we had career development and barriers microbiology faced. So it was a comparative study between Nigeria and Bangladesh University. So it was a beautiful one, a beautiful discussion. So we had our student chapters represent and present in the online webinar. So we also had a partnership with Antimicrobial Nights, that's an organization here on campus aimed to advocating for um, antimicrobial resistance, a good use of drug. So we're featured, we had a partnership with them where we got to educate the public on um, hygiene, antimicrobial resistance, and a lot of stuff. So sometime also um, we got featured by the volunteers overseas. Yeah, it was a volunteer session whereby I was featured, or ASM, my student chapter was featured, and I got to be the keynote speaker. And when we had to talk on something like this there, so it was a beautiful section with students and which cut across different ages, and it was a beautiful section. We also had We also got featured by the Go Clean Initiative Calabar. It's an NGO um, which aims on building cleanliness in the community. So we got featured also to talk on microorganism, the effects, the harmful part and the useful part. So we also talked on hygiene. Yeah, so we have been doing a lot of collaborations out there. We also got featured by the same Go Clean Initiative to mark the Global Hand Washing Day, which was um, October 15 every year. So, but last year we had it, and a beautiful time. We got to talk on hand washing. Yeah, we also got featured by the Calabar University of Medical Student Association, where we got to talk on still global hand washing, but a perspective, a microbiological perspective. So, a team member also represented in that webinar, and we also hosted the webinar. It was a very good one. We had good partnership with other organizations. So, right here in my slide, not all events have been captured in this slide just because we have done a lot of events. Yeah, so also we had most recent activities. We have had onboarding section for the year. We have had team building section where we got to talk about importance of volunteerism, direct student on career paths. We've got to understand that many students are out there still finding their path around microbiology. And we've done that by getting them, showing them their passion. Student chapter is made up of microbiologists, medicine students, and different students. So we've been able to distinguish the various parts. If you're interested in petroleum microbiology, industrial microbiology, food microbiology, and the rest of them, so we have been able to direct students according to their passion based on the activities we have hosted. So we've had the big ASM African collaboration, so where we got to collaborate with University of Bio, Cameroon, University of Energy and Natural Resource, Ghana. We have got to collaborate with University of Science and Technologies, Sudan, which is represented by Rugaya. So we've done a lot of collaboration this time around. We've had a meeting. We're proposing a webinar for next month, and we're doing a lot right now in that regards. So we also have we also had a sub team creation for our lecturers interested in research and belonging to us, our student chapter, a beautiful section for us. So we've had that. So that's for research and them giving us a good guidance in our research vision. So we also have identified some states currently in the country which are not having an ASM chapter. So one of them is the capital territory of the country, Nigeria, which is Abuja. So we've worked away in establishing a student chapter at the University of Abuja, all those still in progress, but we've got the Department of Microbiology in function right now trying to do that. So it's been a beautiful time doing a lot of that. So while we also plan for recruitment, we also plan a succession plan whereby we get to do a transition of power. And how we do that is that we form an electoral board, yeah, which are being formed by the executive board, yeah, executive committee. We publish a call for interest since we already have a group where we have our members. So we send the form there where each student gets to indicate their interest in various positions We have had some persons who we've trained for particular positions. So after that, we conduct an election proper according to our constitution. After that, we do an announcement of new executive. That's just a span of like 3 weeks. You taking conducting all of those processes. Yeah, that's part of what we do in our student chapter. Also, we've got funding from the ASM, which is $300. So we draw up a budget which aligns with that. Though at times we have budgets which I mean, it's low budget, but we get sponsored by our faculty advisor. The University of Calabar also have a funding system which you need to apply for, go through some processes and get that done. We also have a proposed inauguration coming up soon. We have a structure on that going on also. We've also got to school outreaches, market outreaches, and school outreaches. We get to inform young ones out there in the importance of microbiology as a course. So we've had that. We've had to go to the markets, going on campaigns, marking the world, some global events, marking it. Yeah, we also have an upcoming event on which we have to partner with the American Chemical Society. We've been doing a lot though. Yeah, so it's been a lot for us here in our student chapter, a lot of progress. Um, yeah, so I don't know if there are any questions. Feel free to ask questions below. Also, we still have email address at the beginning of the slide. So if you have any collaboration, any question, we're still open to receiving your questions and whatever thing it takes to build your student chapter. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation. And yes, please do add your email to our chat so our other attendees can reach out to you with any follow-up questions. And you touched on one point about funding, obviously support coming from the university, but also ASM's support. So for anyone that doesn't know, ASM does provide up to $300 a year just as seed funding to sort of get a jump start for all of our student chapters on their activities, knowing that this is only, partial of probably some of the event costs that are implemented. So I think what some of our different speakers have touched on is different fundraising on campus or getting support and buy-in from the campus. As an official university club, some universities have, programs to support student clubs and things like that as well. So these are all sort of case by case scenarios that I think people have to work on, based up the structure of your university. But thank you for touching on that in your presentation. And thank you everyone for the questions that are coming in. I am going to welcome Sean and Chloe, our next speakers from University of Santo Tomas in the Philippines. So thank you and welcome and joining us very late in the evening there in the Philippines for this presentation today. And again, keep the conversation in the chat going. It's really great over there.
Okay, so I'll start. Good day, fellow student chapters, members of the American Society for Microbiology, and to everyone present in the meeting. My name is Graciela Maxine Chloe Versoza, and with my partner, Sean Sulit, we will be presenting the chapter of the University of Santo Tomas Microbiology Society. So for our agenda, we will be discussing on who we are as an organization, our focus and advocacy, recent activities and projects within our society, upcoming events and future plans, member engagement and recruitment opportunities, as well as key takeaway and tips for our fellow student chapters.
All right, so good evening and good morning, everyone. We are so excited to see you all. So firstly, I would like to introduce our organization. So our organization was founded in 1981, the UST of Microbiology Society, and it is a primary organization and academic body for the students of the Bachelor of Science in Microbiology at UST. So we dedicate ourselves to expanding knowledge to others and to other individuals by fostering the growth and excellence of each individual through different organizational activities in hopes of reaching further beyond UST and the organization. So the mission of the UST Microbiology Society is to focus on the holistic development of its students, equipping them with the proper knowledge and skills in scientific research and techniques in the laboratory. So, providing them with profound knowledge as a center for excellence in microbiology, we dedicate ourselves towards our members and the vision of the university in breeding competent, compassionate, and committed individuals dedicated to serving the church, the nation, and its community as stakeholders of professionalism and exemplified values as a part of a Catholic institution. So the focus of our advocacy is that we are dedicated to promoting microbiology worldwide, raising awareness in antimicrobial resistance, and exploring medical alternatives through research. And these advocacies are for environmental scientists by highlighting microbes' roles in the ecosystem and also in the bioremediation efforts. So we are committed to science education. The organization addresses learning losses in sanitation and hygiene in affected communities. And this also applies to expertise in businesses and food security, emphasizing on the microbes' role in sustainable industry practices. So moving on, the recent activities and projects of the Microbiology Society. So for the first one, we have the Linkai Nayan Research Fair. So this research fair is specifically for microbiology students in showcasing their ideas and efforts towards innovation and creativity with their work. So this event not only unveiled the excellence of each student, but also enabled them to collaborate and connect with each other, exchanging ideas with the goal of building a better community within the Microbiology Society. So for the next one is the BioFest Battle of the Bands. So this one was a celebration more on exhibiting the unique talent of each student in the microbiology program, which not only reflected the talent of each student, but also showed the chemistry within the students, fostering the creative side of the scientific community and promoting camaraderie among them. So actually, I was also part of the BioFest Battle of the Bands, and me and my group were performing, and then it just clicked, and we got to show how much we connected with each other and how much it meant to us that our chemistry and our bond further strengthened. So for the other activities, we had also the AMR seminar and competition. So actually, this event was split into two major parts, which the first one was focused more primarily on lecturing students on AMR awareness or antimicrobial resistance, as we like to call it in the scientific community, in teaching the importance of One Health perspectives and the importance of open science. So the second part was a competition-based activity that engaged students in giving their ideas and knowledge on AMR related topics and threats that we could further expound our knowledge on. So for the next activity, the semestral assemblies, these assemblies were annual gatherings of the Department of Biological Sciences that aided in helping students stay updated on activities of the department, voicing their opinions and concerns while also engaging in developing leadership and communication among the students, and which was actually a really fun and nice activity that the students had within the Department of Biological Sciences.
One of our following activities is the Agar Art Competition, which is an annual event organized internationally by the ASM in which we actively participate in. This competition provides a unique opportunity to blend both art and science creatively. Participants during this event culture various microbes on agar plates to create intricate designs highlighting the beauty and diversity of microbes. Another project that we will focus on is our AMR advocacy project. As we know, antimicrobial resistance is a growing global concern. Our project aims to educate individuals with the knowledge needed to combat the spread of antimicrobial resistance, particularly in the Philippines. Our initiatives include SDG-oriented seminars to raise awareness, hygiene kit distributions, and community engagement activities to encourage responsible antibiotic use. So one of our recent activities as well is the Makerscope initiative. In the Philippines, access to laboratory tools is often limited due to high costs, thus creating barriers to science education. The Makerscope initiative seeks to bridge this gap by providing a low-cost microscopy toolkit designed in 2023 by the founder Jeremy to promote science education to students in underprivileged communities. My partner will then be presenting a quick guide into using the Makerscope.
All right, so everyone, I would like to show you how the Makerscope actually works. So what we want to do is we connect the Makerscope on the front-facing camera of our phone, and then we just take a slide sample, which I actually have here, is a mouth part of a housefly. So what you want to do is you want to put the sample into the lens, and if you can see here, this is our sample. So you just put it right here, see? That is a part of a housefly's mouth part. And so actually this invention is really innovative and also interesting since it can actually help in communities who are often limited with their technology and often limited with what they have and the tools that they need, especially for those in like let's say areas with limited technology at their time. So really, the Makerscope is one of the, by far, I'd say, a good way to promote microbiology both in affected communities and also to other people, and also providing them with the ease of access by just using their own phones.
Um, right. As shown by my partner's demonstration, we aim to make science more accessible, engaging, as well as inclusive to inspire the next generation of microbiologists, particularly in underprivileged communities. For our future plans involving our organization, we have the Micro Olympics. It is a sports event designed to foster team spirit and camaraderie among microbiology students while also promoting physical fitness and improving mental well-being among students. Another event is the Kwentong Agham ang Agham na Nilikha ng Diyos. This initiative explores the connection between science and faith through storytelling and interactive discussions to highlight how scientific discoveries and religious beliefs can coexist to foster a deeper appreciation for both disciplines. Another event is the microbes. We will be specifically exploring the world of mangrove ecosystems and their microbial life. This initiative emphasizes the importance of preserving mangroves while understanding the microbes' critical roles in maintaining their ecological balance. So beyond this research, this event will also involve local communities within the area through cleanup efforts and interactive discussions to foster a sense of community between the students and the locals within that area. In terms of our future plans, one of our ongoing efforts is to raise awareness again about AMR by engaging communities through educational programs and outreach activities to promote responsible antibiotic use. Additionally, we strive to make science education accessible by focusing on essential topics like sanitation and microbial literacy. Furthermore, we encourage collaboration across different fields beyond microbiology as we aim to demonstrate their real-world applications in varying disciplines. By connecting microbiology to pressing global challenges, we hope to create meaningful and lasting change to inspire others to participate in this scientific initiative.
So for our member engagement and recruitment, so our organization actually collaborates with various STEM groups, so fostering idea exchange and student welfare in the scientific community. So through our social media platforms, we showcase our activities and achievements while connecting with organizations, researchers, and professionals. We exemplified our current partnerships even here right now in the American Society for Microbiology, which we are actually presenting. So the key takeaway and tips that we would like to give you guys is that we encourage organizations to align their projects with practical applications in other scientific fields to engage with members through personalized advocacy and collaboration and communication with other groups are also vital to expanding our reach beyond current efforts. Also, emphasizing One Health and UN SDGs are also crucial in maintaining microbiology's relevance both within and beyond the scientific community. And additionally, leveraging digital platforms and social media is key to promoting our initiatives effectively, especially now in the day of age of technology. So, again, we are all grateful for the opportunity to exchange knowledge today, and we extend our appreciation to the entire scientific community, especially to the American Society of Microbiology, and to everyone present here right now. So, again, We are the UST Microbiology Society here in the Philippines. So thank you for your time. And if there's any questions, we would like to welcome you guys. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much. That was a wonderful presentation. I really want to thank you for touching on advocacy. I think that's a really important topic that none of our other presenters mentioned, but it's also something that I think is an area of involvement that more of our student chapters and young ASM members can get more involved with. It's great to see what you guys are doing for the Philippines, as well as, I would encourage anyone to get in touch with ASM's advocacy department to see what we're doing in the US as well. So thank you for bringing that up in your presentation. And I just have to commend you on how fun it seems that the activities are so wide-ranging and diverse. That's the first time I've heard about a battle of the bands from a student chapter in Microbiology Society. So that's really wonderful. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing your email address in the chat, as well as maybe a link to that microscope, as you mentioned, there seems to be a lot of interest of people connecting on that specific project with you guys, so we would really appreciate it. With that, we are about up on time, so I do want to be mindful of the time of all of our speakers as well as our attendees today. If there's anything that any of our speakers are interested in, hopping on, answering a question live with the group, I can add a couple minutes here. If there's anything that anyone else wants to sort of chime in on, please feel free to unmute yourselves and do that now for any of our speakers. If not, I'm gonna wrap up this call and connect people, via email, and via everyone's different social media pages and things like that, so you can stay up to date on some of the events that were mentioned here. Perfect. And once again, ASM can be reached at studentchapters@asmusa.org. And I will share this webinar with all of our registered attendees. So thank you again for all of our speakers and everyone who attended today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys so much.